Hey, making a quick little video. A while ago, I got these headlights, and they're awesome. You've got the skull that lights up, you have a blinker, and it also is a white for a daytime driving. But when you get this, which I got that off of eBay, what I have is this plug-in, which is great, but these little wires right here are the ones that it's going to turn on your skull, your turning and daylight driving. And it just comes with these little connections, which is definitely not good enough for what I want. So I went out to the junkyard and I got 2 of these connections. You could pick whatever you want. I went to a Mustang, and in the trunk they had these at the tail lights. So it makes it a lot easier to connect and disconnect. And I can show you right over here. This is the final product. Trying to do it as professional as possible, getting a good loom and all that. So now when I take this off, it's a good connection where I can just unplug it. The other thing that I'm working on are the side markers. So with old cars, and actually a lot of new cars, if you have a side marker, they don't blink. They're just on and that's it. But I wanted extra blinking on the side. So this side is complete, but I can't show you the whole wiring just because it's in. I figured get this one done and then maybe make a video and show how I'm going to do this side. After going through the internet and even using chat, again at the junkyard, I was able to get the relay, your standard relay, and for just a 2-wire light, it goes into your relay, just like so. And negative goes to 86, and 86 has another negative going to, this would be the, I was trying to see if I could find where it is. All right, here it is. All right, so from the relay, it's going to go to the negative, and then with your positive, it goes over to 87A, and then from 87A, let's see if I can do this right. All right, and we got 85 coming up into the blinker, and then you have your 30, which is going to be your power. So when you have your lights on, it keeps your light on. And then when you turn on your blinker, it will turn on and off this relay, causing your light to turn on and off when you're using your blinker. Now, being an LED, and this is also LED, I need to update my flasher relay to be an LED flasher. But that's an easy in and out. But if you're going to rewire your side markers, and it doesn't matter if it is, let's say, a new car or old car, on your blinkers on your original Maverick, or if you have a Mustang or anything like that, you can go through this wiring diagram and you're able to turn a side marker into a blinker. So what I'm doing now is going through my loom and identifying the wires. From there, then I'm going to solder in these connections and to make everything just plug in and user friendly. What I like about these connectors, they're very easy to take these wires in and out. You just have to go through, push that little connector, or it's a stopper to make sure the wires do not come out. do this. It's a little cold today. That's out. And just a little pull. Boom. Got that out. Because I'm not going to be using all the wires, just 3 of them. And this one has 2, so I'm going to clip one off. I had an idea of using it, but if I want to change my ideas, it's easy. And be careful, because at this point, sometimes they can come right out without doing anything, but there's a little tab. You just move that little tab, which is really tough. Oh my goodness. Maybe a tripod will help next time. Anyways, your little tab is going to be right next to where the female part is. And then just move that just slightly, don't break it, and then you can pull those out. Alright, just like that. I got this one out. And what's great with these, are good to keep with your multimeter. That way, if you're doing any testing, you've got a female here, and the other one obviously is going to be a male, but you could hook those in when you're doing any diagnostics or testing wires. So something to keep around in your toolbox. One thing I like to do when I'm doing my wires, I get this liquid electrical tape right here. On each one, after I'm done, I like to coat it, just like so. Stuff gets a little messy, so bear with me. And then with the heat shrink, at that point, I'll do heat shrink on there. One thing that's very useful is this guy right here. All right. With this, I'm able to use to shrink the heat shrink. I like the idea of it just being fully sealed on the inside, and that electrical paste, I guess you want to call it, will start squeezing out. Adds a little bit of strength. The goal is not to warp it, but there you go, it's coming out right there. So one done, many more. All right, it's all finally wired up. We have our side blinker and headlight. Obviously it's blinking fast because of the relay or flasher. But what we have up here is the relay, and you can hear it clicking every time that the flasher is on. And then I will show you that. And now the side marker will stay on. So that's a great way to have a side marker on a vehicle to make it into a blinker when it originally was not. All right, here's a final video. So I've got the lights on. And we can see the blinkers. And there you go. It's a little work, but it's worth it.